Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Well. What do we have here? Warren Hudson, the son of the judge, the first to be protected by the red, the white, and the blue. Yeah, fam. Yeah. As soon as it kicked off, Warren's mother, the judge, Ashley Cole, was the first to offer protection and, in my view, instructions. Offered him protection and instructions, and I do believe she extended that protection and instructions, at least the instruction part, to his other buddies. Before I go any further, from this point on, I will not be calling Warren and any of his other buddies boys. These are men, and they need to be treated as such. That's right, I said it. They are men and they need to be treated as such. I do believe that they all are involved in a heinous crime, a diabolical crime. Do you know how messed up you gotta be, fam, to hang out with somebody every day, to eat with them, to share your testimony with them, your dreams with them, to consider them your brother, at least to call them your brother, and then be involved or at least suspected of being involved in their murder? How do you go on? How do you live like that? Do you have a conscience? Like, I couldn't do it. I'm just saying, fam. Now, here's the thing about me. I can be extremely brutal to a real enemy. You know, like, you trying to get me, I'm trying to get you. Hey, when I say anything goes, I mean anything goes. But just, indiscriminately targeting people or befriending somebody, and somebody that you call a friend for over a decade, somebody you say you went to elementary school with, middle school, high school, and you were friends the entire time, somebody you consider the best friend, then you go on a podcast. You won't talk to the police, but you'll go on a podcast and talk to the police. Well, the dude who used to be a cop, right? He won't talk to an official police officer, but he'll talk to a guy who used to be a police officer. Come on, fam. Yeah, man. Warren messed up. What's that Menace Society? You hooked up, right? Yeah. Warren messed around and inadvertently, while he was yapping off, inadvertently said that it was him in the pool hugging Noah. Remember, fam, we didn't know who that was hugging on Nolan. We didn't know who was hugging Nolan. We did not know who was hugging Nolan until Warren just told us. We had no idea. All of those people in the pool, we had no idea who that was hugging Nolan. We knew that was Nolan. Warren said, well, yeah, I was hugging him, but that picture wasn't taken at 1 a.m. on July 5th, as a female witness said, when she said that Warren was involved with Nolan's murder. She said they had beat him down, boys jumped him. I believe she said Warren was either filming or actually helping to jump Nolan. But she said she witnessed 3 of them jumping Nolan and 1 of them filming and laughing the entire time. So, but here's what I want to know, fam. I counted about 20 people in that pool. If that picture is such a bone of contention for so many people, if that picture is the subject of critical analysis, why don't those other people come forward? If that's potential evidence, Why hasn't anybody else in that pool, all of these people, boys or men and women, why didn't any of them come forward? And some of these people look like some real seasoned adults. Why didn't any of them come forward? Not like none of them spoke on the picture. Not none of them. None of them. Family, do you know how rare that is for everybody, that many people to stick together, that many people to stick to a lie? We had no idea who was in that pool, but we know now. Yeah, by Warren's own admission, it was him. At least he put himself in that picture. Now, Warren said the picture was taken about a week before the 4th of July. I think he said June 27th. Now, the witness said that that picture was taken around 1 a.m. on July 5th. That is the morning, very next morning, the wee hours. This is partying all night long, like youngsters typically do. It's the 4th of July. It's the United States of America's birthday. It's Independence Day, the 250th anniversary at that. They're partying all day long. Then they take it over to one of the other kids, one of the other men's house, right? They take it to one of his house, one of the other friends' house. But they get kicked out later on in the night because the mama allegedly came out drunk and she told them to leave her house. This is around the time the fight break out. They allegedly beat Nolan to death. I suspect, just my suspicions, I suspect that that's what happened. They beat him. They put him inside that boat. They took him back out there on that island to cover their tracks and dumped him and said he left. Now, here's the thing. Surveillance is everywhere. Everywhere you go, you're surveilled. So that means if the police really want to solve the crime, they can start with the surveillance footage at that house and at the dock. And they can just spread the web. Just keep spreading the web till they continue to pick up visuals until they find out exactly the coming and going, the time of coming and going for all of these people involved. And if it's not them, then those video cameras are going to show who it was. They're not doing their job. They're not doing, well, I guess they are doing the job they were hired for, because, a lot of them, they get hired to, to not report certain crimes, to not investigate certain crimes, to not get certain people justice. So I guess they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Anyway, Warren told on himself. He put himself at the scene of the crime, allegedly. Yeah. That boy be talking, man. I knew as soon as I saw him jumping on that podcast during an open investigation, an open murder investigation where fingers have pointed his way. I was like, oh, that's narcissism. That's why when he was sitting back there talking calm, he all calm and talking, I knew that he was going to tell on himself. I knew he'd tell on himself. That's sociopathic behavior. And now his mama, his stepmama, the judge, is going on the podcast to talk, to give her side of the story. Why is she talking? Now, don't get me wrong, fam. I appreciate that she did it. I'm not sure if they've already recorded it, but from what I understand, she's coming out next with her side. Why are they telling this former cop all of this stuff? Why are they giving interviews to former cops instead of an interview to real life, real time investigators, real cops? What's up with that? Trying to manufacture some evidence. I've even seen certain people jump out there and say things like, see there, see there, they should have been spoken up and just told their truth, and then this would have all been over. Anybody who just flat out say that these guys are innocent, considering all of the evidence, all of the inconsistent stories, the fact that they held Nolan's phone and his keys alone and would not give them to the family. The family had to go get them. The mom and dad had to go get the keys, go get the cell phone. They didn't volunteer. They didn't say, hey, I got Nolan's phone. I got Nolan's keys. Can you come get it? No, they didn't say that. They wasn't even responding. They had to go and get it. They had to go track the phone, then go to the house of the other boy and pressure him to give them the keys. Does that sound like the actions of innocent people? Does that seem like the behavior of an innocent person? Do innocent people behave like that? I mean, like in the world that you live in. I'm just saying in the world you live in. For all you people out there that are giving these dudes the benefit of doubt, put yourself in Nolan's shoes. Put yourself in the shoes of the family. If it happened, if the events happened exactly like they say it happened, and you were on the side of Nolan's family, if you was part of Nolan's family, you heard it, or you was the friend, if you was friends, or if you really was just a spectator and you heard this, no dog in the fight, what would you really think? I mean, and it's just between me, I ain't gonna tell nobody. What would you really think? Honest opinion. I mean, if you lied your whole life, this time you got to be honest, because God is listening. And your how should I say, salvation is on the line. How about that? You got to tell the truth. What would you really think? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.